What's going on? How we doing? Back at it again. Loving it. Welcome to the Conversating, Conversing, and Relating. I am one half of your host, Coach Hughes. Why are you laughing at that?
And I'm April Autumn.
Why are you laughing at that?
Because you're a whole host and I'm a whole host and we're both co-hosts.
Co-host?
Don't make me laugh because I'm going to start coughing.
What? Oh, a whole
host.
Okay.
Hosts.
Okay.
Yeah. You're a host. I'm her. You get a host and you get a host.
You get a host. You get a host. All these hoes y'all get. No.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's starting. Yes,
Yeah,
it is. Hey.
It is. How we doing? Hope you're doing good. Shout out to the lovely young cat in Cleveland. Did I get her? No.
You
Columbus.
are Columbus. Listen.
I was like Cleveland.
Yeah. You could have just said Ohio Hughes.
Ohio Hughes. She's doing better. She had a little...
And the Harvey.
Hughes and Harvey. Yeah. Hughes and Harvey.
Anyway, so...
Did you say your name in the host?
Would you like for me to say it again?
You got to say it again.
So, I'm April Autumn, and I'm a co-host of Conversing, and Relating. So, I've been sick. And so this is...
Still are.
I still am. I'm sniffling.
But you're on the upswing now.
I am. I have my tea.
You gotta look here. I'm just saying, you gotta look like that.
He has been caretaking me.
I don't want you to be in Cleveland. I am so bad. It's Columbus. My bad. Go ahead.
And we have friends in Columbus.
We have friends in Columbus. No, it's Cleveland.
No, they are in Columbus.
They're in Columbus? No, I didn't know that.
Shout out to Marcus and Mary.
Got their own massage clinic.
Hey, rubbing people down. Rubbing down.
Columbus.
Ohio. Okay.
So I've been caretaking.
He has been caretaking, and I have been sneezing. I was about to sneeze just a second ago, but I was like...
Don't sneeze.
I had to hold it in.
Yeah.
And so we almost did not do the show today, but, I decided to be a teddy bear and be all cozy.
What is that, velvet?
It's teddy bear. It's me being a teddy bear.
Okay.
So, but we've had a really, really busy couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I had the Harvest and Crown brunch with Queens here in Houston, Texas. Shout out to my Queens here in Houston, Texas.
It was a good turnout.
It was more than I anticipated. It was 30 plus folks in the room.
It was a good turnout.
30 plus folks. For some people might be like, no. It was crowded. We had to rearrange furniture.
Yeah.
It was, I did not.
It's a situation.
I wanted it to be an intimate, very, close and personal event, and it still was, but even with a couple of people who had some emergencies at the last minute, we still had over the number that we anticipated. But I'm very happy about the way that it turned out.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Coach Hughes, who was Chef Boy or Negro and cooked it up in the kitchen.
I did some things.
He did. Shout out to Stephanie, my bestie, who came through and helped. Thank you so much. Amarantha, Fran, Ramonica. Thank you so much for your support. And Latasha, thank you so much for all your support.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I got the sick glow. The sick glow. No, thank you. I'm on the upswing because your brother's been doing such a great job of taking care of me. I think it was a sinus infection because all of this, and right here, it was serious.
It was super serious.
We're on the mend. And so that was great. And now we are preparing for the Kings and Queens Giving here in Houston, Texas. We're very excited about it. Again, another event where we want to shed some light on harvesting, like what are you reaping this season, but also what are you planting for next season to reap a different harvest. And I think tonight's conversation about truth, trust, and transparency may shed a little light on
Yeah. Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
yes, so anybody in the Houston area, if you are interested in coming out, please hit us up on www.theobsidianluxgroup.com. Go there, you can find all the deets, and please register. Right now, there is a founders. This is our inaugural event here in Houston. So those who registered this weekend, they will get 50% off. Woo, yeah. See, now, so that's the thing. He's now getting sick. I'm sorry.
Am I getting sick?
Yeah, you are.
That's what's happening?
Yep.
Oh, I look pretty decent to be getting sick.
You look amazing always. What does that have to do with anything?
I don't feel sick.
Lie.
I don't.
You said you were sick a second ago.
No, I said I was feeling good.
He's lying. But anyway,
that's what I said.
Of truth, trust, and transparency.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What did you say that part?
No, I just oh, well, you can.
Okay, well, we talk about generational wealth, generational trauma, generational curses, but what about generational love?
Well, I don't know if we talk a lot about that. That's a legacy as well, right?
Yeah.
Those are things, just like anything else, that you can pass down from generation to generation. Like you said, wealth and trauma and curses, you can also pass down love.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't have the legacy, though, without seeds to really understand how to grow that thing and help it, come to fruition. And what I believe that, sometimes people think they have the seed,
but they don't.
They ain't got it. We talked about, we were talking about legacy seeds, and I had heard the term legacy seeds, but I didn't really know what that meant. And so this is kind of how this kind of all came about. So today we're going to talk about one of those seeds that will help us really do legacy. And the first one is truth, trust, and transparency. Try to say that quick, like 5 times.
Say that quick 5 times.
Cha-cha. It's all based around like one particular thing, which is honesty, openness, vulnerability. But I think staying truth, trust, transparency, that's definitely one of the things that when people are talking about what they want in a partner or what they want in friendships and things of that nature, those words tend to come up. Not so much transparency.
Not so much transparency.
That's a new one. I think we really started talking about that really early, but I think that's what people are looking for, but they're afraid of it.
You want it, but you don't want it. Because it comes with a lot of things that's going to make you uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh, yes.
All right, so let's talk about what was stolen from Black love. Okay? And I'm just going to go to the question, and then we'll come back to the talking points.
Sounds great.
Okay. Did you grow up seeing truth and transparency in relationships, or did love mean silence and resilience?
You asking me that?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Look. Hi, mommy.
Okay.
Look, but anyway, this is, truth, trust, transparency. So did I grow up learning or seeing that modeled? I would say yes and no, right? So I grew up with my great-grandparents, my grandparents, my mom, my dad. I didn't know a lot about him, and I still really don't. I'm still unearthing things about him. But there were things that I wanted to know, but I think as a child, you're not able to ask.
Right.
You're silenced quickly.
Right.
Like I remember trying to sneak in and listen to my great-grandparents talk, or my grandmother, or adults talk for that matter. And typically, you're told, get your ass out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Get out.
Grandpa talking.
Right. Go outside. And so there's really not a lot of disseminating of information or passing down information like that. If you're still enough and quiet enough and in the back and, you can hear some things that you weren't supposed to hear, but I don't think it's intentional at all. So it's a lot of things that you may hear that may be pieces of a story. And then you just got to put the jigsaw puzzle together yourself, which that's not very good. That's not truthful or transparent. Don't have a lot of trust in that.
So did it mean silence and resilience?
I think it definitely meant silence. And I don't know about resilience. I think it just meant figure it out on your own. And I mean, that could definitely be a part of resilience, but it's really like you on your own. I had to figure it out. You're going to figure it out. It'll be all right. You'll figure. Trial and error. Yeah. Yeah. Did you?
Did I what?
Did you grow up seeing truth and transparency?
At levels. There was levels. There was truthfulness. I grew up in a 2-parent household, so we always had the time to discuss, especially when it came to family issues. But there was levels. Like there was truthful with family stuff, but there was transparency with family stuff. But then when it was mom and dad, it was not as transparency and or truthful, not by deception or by omission. It was just they were protecting the sanctity of marriage. So they were like, it's us, versus the kids. And when it comes to stuff that has to deal with us as husband and wife, we don't have to insert our kids. Right. And so that's what I grew up with in that situation, in that house.
Do you feel like you had to kind of figure it out on your own too at sometimes? Because we're talking about love now. Like you were afforded the opportunity to see love in action.
Yes.
I will say that I saw love, but the way I saw it was very different. My great-grandparents slept in separate beds, in separate rooms.
Oh.
And my grandmother, I don't really remember my grandfather being around because he died when I was 3 or 4. And so I remember when I was at her house, I always slept in her bed. Yeah. So, and then my dad wasn't on set, like I said, and so I didn't really learn that. And so there was a lot of silence and not understanding until later what love looked like.
Yeah.
In motion, in fruition. Not to say that my mom did not love me or love my brother or my family didn't have love. It was just different. And so when I would I remember asking my mom this question. She probably gonna kill me for saying this. This is back, I'm telling my age. This is back when they had the POWs, prisoners of war. And so they would run the commercials about prisoners of war. And I got brave enough one day to ask my mom, is my dad a prisoner of war? And she looked at me like, girl, get out of here. No. And walked away. And so I didn't ask anymore. Like, it took me a lot to ask that question.
Yeah.
But I didn't have context.
Right.
I didn't have context of what happened and why. And, I had it later. She told me later. And I don't know if she felt like I could understand or not. I think she did the best that she could at that moment. And because I know now that she really, really loved him and was very disappointed by how America treated him and the things that he had to see and all the things and how that impacted him coming back to a family. So anyway, I say all that to say, no, I didn't see it. It was very like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So, the hidden thing. Were there things that were hidden in your family?
Like what?
I I don't know. I know you said like relationship things with your family, like with your mom and dad, like, but I don't know. I'm curious to know with other folks, if there were things that were hidden.
I mean, there were family secrets that were
Mm-hmm.
hidden. Like, I knew my cousin had a brother, never saw him, didn't know why.
Mm-hmm.
It was stuff like that. You know, I knew I had cousins on my mom's side who lived up the hill that didn't live pretty much with us, but didn't realize that that was my grandfather's brother's family and
Mm-hmm.
all of his relatives and their relatives and so forth and so forth. And so, yeah, I mean, but we never went up the hill to go play with them and chill out with them. They never came down to, play with us. Yeah, there probably was some stuff. There was some grown up stuff, and I think my parents did a good job at keeping kids out of grown folks stuff. Uh, and so, as a kid, we were distracted. Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. It's like we don't care what y'all talk about. What a game system at? Like, are we playing Atari? Are we
Mm-hmm.
playing Sega Genesis? Are we playing Super Nintendo?
Mm-hmm.
Are we playing Monopoly? We playing Life? What are we doing? Because this adult talk is kind of boring. And so that's how we approached it. But they did a good job to when it was time for us to talk as kids or as young adults or whatever. They did a good job of giving us a platform and stuff like that. They also did a good job of reminding us that hey, your opinion can only go so far because you're a kid and you're a teenager. You're not an adult. I still want to hear what you have to say, but it still has to be in the confines of the age range you are because you're an adult. So
You had an opinion?
yeah, even if it was the perception of an opinion, because
Oh,
none of this stuff really came true that we had an opinion about.
yeah. There was no opinion. There was no conversation. Speak when spoken to.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really what it was for
it wasn't
me.
but it wasn't like we just always had an opinion. Like there were just times when we was like, all right, we need to sit down and have a talk about this collectively.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And you know what? This brings up the age difference because
Yeah.
like I'm 10 years older than you, and so I think there were things that there was no conversation. This is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, there's 99% was that. But that
Right.
1% every now and then was like, okay, it's still gonna happen, but how you feel about it?
Right.
What's going on
Feelings.
in your life?
Feelings?
Yeah.
Whatever feelings.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh wow. So talk about and again, this is all with non-judgmental curiosity.
Right.
Right? Because we're taught things and things are modeled to us that we just pass down. People are typically doing the best that they can with what they are dealt.
Right.
And at this present time in our lives, I believe that we're doing so much better than our ancestors are. And we have the time and opportunity to actually look at things critically and the emotional availability to do it as well. And so this isn't like, oh my God, they didn't give you it's none of that.
Yeah.
It's none of that. It's really like how are things that are passed down and not passed down impacting us.
Right.
So one of the things that I was going to ask you about, did you see men talking a lot or were they silent?
I saw men talking a lot. And what's weird is I saw both men and women talking a lot, separately and together.
Mm.
And if they were together or separate, we could not be in the room. We could see it, but when if the conversation took a turn to go deeper and more adult-like, it was time to leave the room. But I did often see men talking where they were sitting down just enjoying, my parents didn't drink, but where they were just sitting down enjoying a soda or a float or whatever, or women were talking. They weren't talking in the kitchen either. They were talking in the living room. They would have tea, or they would have, coffee, or they just sit and talk and shoot the breeze. But it was, and then when men and women talk, that's what it was.
Mm.
So I did see a lot of it. I didn't see a lot of the the silent type kind of thing, but I did see it in my I think my micro ecosystem, if I would say, being my, like, I didn't see it in like my family, whereas my mom and dad,
Right.
and then their friends,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I saw it in my mom's side of the family, which is like their siblings and stuff like that. Like they talked if they were happy and excited about something, but other than that, everybody's just strong. And some of them I didn't even see. Like, are you sure you married, Auntie? Because we don't even see Uncle all the time. He's always playing golf, or he's out doing something. So that's what it was. That's what it was. What I saw.
My grandfather, who was a minister, or great grandfather, who was a minister, very quiet. Remember, I told you remind me of him.
Ah,
The very strong, silent type. And when he said, he's very loving, very caring. He, preached things like that. When he talked, people listened, but he wasn't going to give you a whole lot. He loved us. I mean, I was never afraid of him. I think I was one of his favorite people.
Probably so.
But yeah, I have a very matriarchal family, and it was a lot of women talking. It was a lot of women running things. It was a lot of women doing. It was a lot of women.
Yeah.
And so, I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying that's what it is.
Right. That's what you saw.
Yeah.
I saw women running things, but I saw a lot of team effort. Like, it was like, okay, it was very patriarchal, but unless it was something that it was just the men that was doing, the men wasn't about to move without their wives in a collective effort. That's just what I saw. Like, hey, we're going to get together. Let's put the plan together. All right, break. Then we go about our ways. And that's what I saw. But some people saw where black men were taught to be silent.
Yeah.
Black women were taught to be strong and silent. Right? Love became survival, not softness. And our hearts have memories of different traumas of all of that. Right? One of our patrons said, love meant silence and not your business.
Ooh.
Eesh. That's true.
Yeah, you keep all the business in the house.
Yeah.
Everything. Don't you go outside telling such and such that such and such happened in this house.
That's right. That's right.
That's a whole situation if you do.
That's right.
Yeah.
Then she goes on to say, had to figure it out on my own what love was. And a lot of us have to figure out and look, I saw it, but just because I saw it doesn't mean I got it right. Because again, there's some stuff that even what I saw wasn't explained. There's some stuff that what we were taught wasn't explained, and they didn't have the time to explain everything. And I came from a 2-parent household. My parents died within the same year of each other. They loved each other up until that time. So it's like, but I still ended up making a mistake. My siblings still ended up making the mistakes that they made, and we had good examples. So don't think that just because that's the case that we automatically got it or we understood what it was.
I mean, I think one of the things that we leave out a lot in talking about traumas is safety, right? Historically, our folks have gone through a lot of traumatic things, and even if it's not in your face danger, it's the thought that possible danger could happen to someone you love at any time because of the way you look and because of the color of your skin.
Right.
And so going back to that thought process and having, I'm talking about my mom. My mom's 80, and then my mom's mom, and then her mom, and that all my great say 1902. Yeah. That's a lot. Like I can't, I can't imagine. I don't look. I'll be honest. I don't want to imagine because that's harmful to me. I told you I was scrolling and someone was talking about um, doing procedures on a woman without anesthesia because they were saying that black women are stronger, and I'm like, I don't want to hear that. And so when we think about the emotional weight and trauma as it relates to love and life and relationships and just dealing with stuff and trying to make it through, and are you emotionally safe?
Yeah.
Like it, even if, like we were talking about this, if at that time as a woman I'm telling my husband I don't feel emotionally safe, that man may feel like, okay, there's nothing I can do about that. That's a lot to sit with right there. I'm sorry. We started with truth, trust, and transparency.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot to sit with. I mean, what are your thoughts about that, babe?
We have to understand that your safety depends on you, not the other person. And that's a hard pill to swallow because you grew up, and we all grew up that, your partner's supposed to make you feel safe. Your wife, your husband, they're supposed to make you feel safe. And the thing is, what we don't understand, or what we're just now understanding, is that your safety, just like your happiness, just like still your own success, is dependent on you. They're not responsible for the things that you think they're responsible for. At best, they're supposed to add to it. They're supposed to enhance it, right? But the ultimate responsibility of your safety depends on you. The ultimate responsibility of your happiness depends on you.
Now, we're not saying that you can't come to some agreements with the person and you all come together and figure out some things on what safety for each other can look like.
Yeah.
But that has to start with self first.
Yeah.
Like, I can't just be like, I need for you to keep me safe.
Oh, they have it. That's what they do.
But you need to know what safety is for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know?
Because I don't feel safe myself. And as a person, I don't want to tell you that because I don't want to seem inadequate. I don't want to seem.
Oh, say it again, baby. Yeah. Say it again. Say it again.
So, anyway.
No, you got to say that again.
We have a question.
No.
I don't want to seem okay. I don't want to seem inadequate, but we got a question.
We coming back to that.
Okay. Do you think that sometimes knowing everything can be overwhelming?
Yes.
Yeah. It's gonna be overwhelming because the only reason it's overwhelming is because you didn't know it before. That's it. If you imagine the stuff that you were socialized with growing up, it only became overwhelming when you had to unlearn what you've learned growing up.
Why is it I always think about the Matrix in these conversations when you understand, like, you've seen something, you know that's not real. That thing is not real. That's a figment of my imagination. And there's no way that you can put that back and rewind it. There's nothing you can do. That is what it is. A thing is a thing. And I say that a lot. Call a thing a thing. That thing, that's what that is.
But when you call it a thing, it makes it real.
Yes.
And so, we've always talked about living in the beautiful lie more than the ugly truth, accepting the ugly truth. And when you think you know everything, it's only what you've been passed down from the people who taught you. And then once you realize they've actually taught you trauma, and now you have to go back and, oh, that's why this didn't work back then. That's why this relationship didn't work. That's why because they taught you trauma, right? And so when you have to go back and unlearn that, now it becomes heavy because now you know the real. And it's real heavy because now you have to deal with how much time do you have left with what you know now, right? Even if you're a young person or whatever, right? You still have to worry about the time that you've lost learning the wrong thing. So yeah, it can become overwhelming, very overwhelming, but it's only overwhelming because it's something that you didn't know at first, and now you know now, and now you have to apply it, and all these other things come into play. Yeah.
Okay.
Another question: Is it if a safe environment is created and you are given transparency at your level of maturity, do you believe it creates the ability to have patience and faith?
It can.
It can, but again, patience and faith is on you.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
we can come to all the understandings in the world that we want to,
Right.
right? At the end of the day, number one, we're both still human.
Right.
We're both still living in this experience called life,
Right.
right? And we both have options and choices.
Yeah. We're still both individuals trying to continuously mesh and get this dance of life, of rhythm together, right? So even if we created that stuff for each other, at the end of the day, the ability to have patience and faith still relies on you because you cannot have that environment and still create patience and faith,
Yes.
right? Because that's a part of who you are, that's a part of your identity, that's a part of how you approach things. People have this environment where they have the opportunity to say and do and be, but then there's no patience, there's no faith. So it's like, go ahead and sneeze. Achoo! That makes it stop. Anyway, so what happens is even if you have the environment, it doesn't guarantee patience and faith. But even if you don't have the environment, it still can cultivate patience and faith. It all depends on you, your perception, what's your end goal, and you being real with yourself.
At the end of all of that, it's you decide whether you are going to have safety, patience, faith.
Mhm.
You decide.
Yeah.
And then when you are walking in that, and then you go to create that with someone else and they're not, then you decide if you're going to turn away and take your patience somewhere else, or are you going to try again?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Right.
Because once you develop it within, I protected my peace. So when people actually develop peace and patience and all of those things, they don't even have to say it. That's what I mean. You don't have to say it. You just do it. It's an action. You're like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your favorite thing. You take your ball and you go home.
Take
You
your ball
don't
and
have
go.
to do it. You don't have to explain. You can, but you just know. You're like, yeah, no, this is not going.
Yeah, because protecting your peace, you don't. That's like saying I'm black, and it's like we know, we see, right? If you can obviously tell, or it's like saying like, yo, my car is my tire's flat, and you can obviously see that. It's like you're stating the obvious, right? So when you say you're protecting your peace, you're not really protecting your peace. You're avoiding the hard things and the hard situations that you have to deal with
To get to peace.
to get to peace, because you don't have to say I'm protecting my peace. Your actions, your words will signify, right, that you're protecting your peace. You don't have to say that.
And
So
people don't understand that peace, patience, all of those things are works.
yeah,
It takes work to get there.
and time.
And time. It's not an avoidance tactic.
Yeah.
It is work. You put in the work to do the thing to get there.
Yeah.
So if you think that somebody's not going to try your patience, you're wrong.
Even when you've mastered your patience, even when you mastered, name a time that you've mastered your faith in one thing and then God came back and still tried you. Like that's the point. It's a constant. Like, okay, I reached the level of mastering my patience and my faith. And God or the universe is like, okay, let's throw this in the mix and see if you really have. And then either you pass or fail. If you pass, you go on to the next level of mastering patience and having faith, right?
Mhm.
But if you fail, you got to go back and see why you failed,
Learn some more things.
and you got to confront some more things, and that's what it is. But it's all you, right? It's all you.
You.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay.
How does lack of truth, truth, trust, and transparency show up today?
Mm.
Hyper independence
Child.
for both men and women. I think that needs to be said. Hyper independence for both men and women.
Because a lot of times we're pointing at women,
Right.
but men can be hyper vigilant and hyper independent as well. I think it's both of those, hyper vigilant and hyper independent.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
The emotional shutdown.
Most definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
For men and women.
Right.
Right. Because men and women shut down. The snooping test or snooping testing, checking phones. The let me smell it. We put your pen. Let me smell it. That stuff. Okay.
I can't stand that. Oh my God.
That's yeah. The I'm fine.
You got to say it right.
What you got? I can't
I'm fine.
say. Oh yeah, I can't say. You gotta say it, yeah.
I'm fine.
I'm fine. Yeah.
How you doing? I'm fine.
No, because
Really?
we be like, I'm alright. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Both of those. No.
Done.
That's not true. Not really being in yourself, in your feelings, in your emotion, present with yourself. There
Right.
it is.
Right.
And notice I didn't say with anybody else. I said with yourself.
Right. Talking at each other and not to each other. Right. And using anger instead of vulnerability.
Defense mechanisms.
Got to put your guard up.
Every time.
Okay.
Every time.
That's how the lack of truth, trust, and transparency show up today. Okay.
So,
go. You got to go. Yeah.
Well, I gotta go. Okay.
Yeah.
Where in your relationships do you tell half truths to avoid conflicts? This is for you all.
Yeah.
Where in your relationships do you tell half truths to avoid conflict?
Or where, I would even add, where in your relationship have you omitted the truth? Right?
By omission or commission?
By omission, where have you just not said the truth just to avoid a conflict in your relationship?
Mm.
Yeah.
Let's just say it. I'm just say it.
Good.
When you can't handle the truth. But seriously, when
I
people,
thought you didn't watch movies.
I'd watch a couple.
You watched a couple. Okay. All right.
But when people don't feel like their partner can handle the truth, they're going to give them a piece of the truth, or they're going to omit something, or they're going to go around it, or...
And again, it's men and women who can't handle the truth. It's not just women. There are... Because men, we deal with a certain version of truth out in public because we're black men or we're men. And then women deal with a certain version of truth from their perspective because they're women, right?
Right.
But when it comes to each other, when you're operating in this dynamic, it's like, I don't want to tell him the truth because it'll hurt his ego. I don't want to tell her the truth because it'll hurt her feelings.
Right.
Right? However, at the same time, nobody can take the truth. That's the overall thing right there.
Remember, we asked a couple one time, and the example I gave was a real simple one, and this is a true story.
Yeah.
I hope they're not on tonight.
It's probably so.
One partner's breath stunk.
I see you drinking my water, right?
I didn't need for you to spit the water out. But they could not tell their partner that they were a little tart, and maybe they needed to go to the dentist and get some things taken care of. And so that resentment built and built and built and built, and it came into an argument. And she was like, okay, so I said it. She was like, forget you, your breath stink. I can't say it. And he was like, wait a minute, my breath stinks. I had no idea. And it was years. Years.
Yeah, years.
Years.
Yeah.
So something as simple as oral hygiene. Oral hygiene. Like, babe, you need a mint. That you should be able to tell your partner that. That's the truth. Yeah. Because guess what? Somebody else the coworker at work was like, "Man, did you eat some onions?"
Yeah.
Real simple.
Yeah.
Real simple. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Putting overwhelmed in the context of how children are given information.
Mm.
Yeah. Say more about that, though.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
see
gonna
where you're
need
going
some
with that.
more information.
I want to see where you're going with that. But I kind of have an idea, but I want you to say more about that.
So, truth, honesty. Maybe we're talking about truth and honesty as it relates to telling half truths
Yeah.
to your kids.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe in telling half truths to kids. I don't.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you, but I
Right.
don't agree with. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I will say some of this information I don't feel like you need to know as a child.
Yeah, that part. Yeah.
But I can give you some information for understanding.
Right, context.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That doesn't mean that you're a part of this
situation or thought process or
any of that.
And that's what I was saying earlier. Like how my family operated. It was like, yeah, I'll give you but you ain't finna make the final decision. Like,
you are not a decision maker.
You are not a decision maker in this situation. We may adjust if you have some adjustment questions or adjustment suggestions that make sense. Like there's compromise, but it's still within the purview and the scope of you being a kid in this household.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever made someone earn trust they didn't break?
Yeah. Have you ever made somebody? The question is to you guys: have you ever made somebody earn trust that they didn't break?
Basically, yeah. So they gotta earn my trust. You start with a 0. Oh, that triggered you?
No, it just gave me shivers because I was like, "Who are you, a teacher or something?" Everybody start with it was. Sometimes
but some people do. Yeah. Some people say that. Like I have heard that. Like everybody start with a 0. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, if everybody starts with 0, you're already failing.
You're already failing. That's why I'm like, wait, what? I start failing? No, I don't even think I want to be in this class.
I gotta build up to 100 with you.
No, thank you.
I'm all right. I'm right.
Right, and I haven't done anything wrong.
Right.
Like,
who hurt
guilty?
you?
Look, exactly. Guilty before proven innocent.
Right. But I gotta assume just because you given a grade that you innocent before proven guilty. Like
I ain't done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is definitely unhealed pain.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Definitely unhealed pain.
I think the listener added a comment with that. Let's see.
That's empowering.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We definitely, I mean, I think growing up, I didn't always get all the information. I didn't get it either. I didn't. I got the best information that I could get from the situation that I had.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
More like directions.
I got directions.
Yeah.
I got directions. Yeah. Which made me create some directions of my own, which I got in a lot of trouble for.
Yeah.
So, with that, I would allow questions from my children and I would give them information. So it was empowering and it helped them find their voice. And what I don't think we understand is that children go through stages of development, and especially between the age of 13 to 21, they're finding their identity. They're finding their identity. And if we're not allowing them space to ask questions, to talk, to understand, before then, when they get to this place, they're definitely not going to ask any questions.
Well, yeah, I mean, but everybody should ask questions again, but to a certain extent. Like some of these kids nowadays, because of what we went through as kids,
okay, they're a little entitled.
We've given them, in some cases, a lot of leeway. Mm-hmm. And then we get mad because now we forget that they're kids putting 2 and 2 that they can add. So now these questions become a little bit more in depth, a little bit more personal, a little bit more of the type of questions you don't want to answer because that's not their business because they're kids or they're teenagers or whatever the case may be. So there's definitely a fine line that we have to do, but we should have been doing as adults.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But this is where we're at now.
And I definitely feel, again, I think that is a great place to insert love. Because I love you,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you as much information as I can, but I'm also, as a parent, putting up boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries are love.
Yeah.
Boundaries, they're love.
Yeah.
They are guardrails for children to understand life after they leave this house or your house, because there are definitely boundaries out in the world that they're going to hit against, and they need to know how to navigate them. So if somebody tells them no, or they don't understand, they don't just fly off the handle because they're like, oh, you told me no. Yeah, that's a thing. I can tell you no because I have choice. But anyway.
Yeah. So what does healing look like? All right. Healing looks like telling the truth even when it's uncomfortable.
Mm.
Repair after the harm.
To say that again.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What was I? Did I just annoy you, sir?
You just.
I did, because that's so serious.
Yeah, it's serious. Telling the truth even when it's uncomfortable.
Because people lie a lot, especially to themselves, to make themselves feel comfortable.
That's what you got to start telling the truth.
That's
to.
what I was talking about.
Before you start telling the truth to people around you, start telling the truth to yourself first.
That part.
Practice with yourself, because that's the key of getting used to telling people around you the truth.
I mean, that's a real thing. Practice with you.
Yeah.
Like, you should be talking to you, being honest with you, being open with you, being vulnerable with you. All those things with you.
Right.
So when then it comes to somebody else, it's not foreign.
Right. And you're not doing it from a position of weaponization, because what happens is if you don't start with yourself about telling yourself the truth about the ugly things that you don't like, telling yourself the truth about the beautiful things that you like, right? If you don't do those different things, when you talk to other people, it'll come off as weaponization when you tell them the truth, right? Or your version of the truth, right? So when you're telling people the truth, you have to tell them even though it feels uncomfortable. But not uncomfortable for you, because you should be used to telling the truth because you started telling yourself the truth first. It may be uncomfortable to them. That's what we're talking about when we mean uncomfortable, right? However, it's because you love yourself first, because you practice with yourself first, that telling them the truth, even though you know it may make them uncomfortable, it's something that you still will do from a place of love and not weaponization, or a place of care, or a place of admiration, of wanting to see them do better. Anything but from a place of weaponization, from a place of hurt, or trying to tear them down. So your truth essentially is like, I'm trying to lift you up. I'm trying to give you different perspective. I'm trying to help you see something that you may not be aware of. I'm not weaponizing what I'm telling you, even though it's uncomfortable for you. However, it's not uncomfortable for me to tell you because I care about you enough to say it in the first place.
Thank you for reviewing that.
Yeah. All right. So also repair after harm. Okay. A lot of us go through things in relationships, whether it be relationship with friends, relationship with family, relationship with spouse, that after a while, you got to repair it. You don't have to, but sometimes the opportunity comes around where you'll be able to repair the relationship. And you have to repair after the harm if that opportunity presents itself.
I would also say to that, there's also looking at yourself and doing a self-analysis. Because a lot of times, even when we are the victim, what is it that you did to get in that situation?
All right. Right.
What are some things that you can learn from that situation?
Right.
Not necessarily saying, oh my gosh, you were wrong for that. Just looking at what really happened.
Right.
Can you see it from that other person's perspective? What are there some things that you could have done better?
Right.
So yeah.
Again, Not saying that we're victim blaming,
At
definitely
all.
not victim blaming. What we're doing is saying, even though you may be a victim, it's very rare that you did nothing to become a victim. There's a lot of stuff that we do as humans subconsciously, unconsciously. We have muscle memory. We have gotten comfortable in situations or in environments that we really shouldn't be comfortable in just because nothing has happened thus far, right? That's like being in a car and you've been driving without your seatbelt for the past 6 days, right? And now you're comfortable. So you keep driving without your seatbelt. Now you get a ticket on the 7th day. Now you get an accident on the 7th day, right? So it's not that you technically did anything. It's just that there was something that you may have done unconsciously in your subconscious that allowed you to become or be placed in a victim kind of situation,
Yeah.
right? But again, this is not victim blaming. What it is trying to get you to understand, how did we get here, right? How did we get here? And what could we do not to repeat this situation?
I think it's always hard for us to do self-analysis,
Yeah.
right? To look at, okay, even though something happened to me, what was my part? Did I do anything? How could I have done better? How could I have shown up better? Maybe there's nothing, but just review the tape.
Yeah. Again, it's subconsciously and consciously. It's like, it's not one of those things where you're necessarily in the wrong. Some people just end up being victimized and they did nothing wrong,
At all.
right? But maybe it's something we could have done to avoid it before we got to the victimization. Maybe it's something, a red flag we ignored, or a tell that we ignored, or we got comfortable in a situation, or whichever, right? Again, not victim blaming,
At all.
but it's just going back and reviewing, like she said, how do we get here? What led to this? Because whatever led to this, if we don't go back and look at it, we may repeat that.
Exactly. I love the way that you say it. You're like, I check and then I self-check again and I check one more time.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You're just, it's that whole self-check. And I think sometimes we get very uncomfortable self-checking because we want to blame everybody else. And so if we get in the habit, even if, yes, I am clearly, let me just look at the tape. Let me just look at the whole situation and do a self-reflection.
But I think one of the reasons it's hard to self-check is because we go down the slippery slope of, oh, it is my fault.
Right.
Right? It is my fault.
I agree.
And if I hadn't have did this, if I hadn't did that,
Right.
and it's like, that doesn't necessarily mean it's your fault, right? It doesn't, because again, routines, habits, things like that, get comfortable. We get complacent. We become not as vigilant because it hasn't happened yet or whatever, right? And this could be anything. This could be relationships. That could be, driving. This could be work relationships. So you get comfortable at work. Now they done fired you because you thought you was good. It could be anything, right? However, even though you may have been victimized, you do not have to stay a victim. Bless you. What you can do is understand that at the end of the day, you have a chance to go back and rewind that tape and see what's going on with you that led to that point. What led to you being comfortable? What led to you breaking routine and habit that was actually there to protect you? What led to you letting your guard down when you normally don't, right? What led to you, thinking a certain way when you normally, in certain situations, especially this one, would think another way, right? So it's all these different things that come into play that you have to end up repairing at the end of the day, the harm that happens. Now, you may not get the closure. So repair does not actually mean closure.
Mhm.
Okay? It's up to yourself to get closure for yourself. Whether you get it from that person or from that situation or from that job or whatever. Repair of harm is really not associated with closure, but you can get closure if you give it and grant it to yourself.
Yeah, it's rarely with other people.
Right.
They don't even have to be a part of the situation.
Yeah.
Right?
Boundaries that create safety, not distance. That's hard. I'm experiencing that now. Boundaries that's creating safety and not distance. And boundaries are something that sometimes we feel guilty about setting up. Sometimes we feel wrong that we set it up this late in the game, whatever the situation may be. Like there are some people out there who don't tell their job no, and they get ran ragged, and just and then now later on in the game they set up boundaries for themselves, and they feel guilty for telling their job no because it may look like, oh, now this person's switching, they're lax on their work performance or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing with, I experienced that with kid, boundaries with kid. And so I set up boundaries, but what you don't understand is, or what I didn't understand is, as time goes on, the boundary expands, contracts, redefines itself, the whole thing, right? You can't have yesterday's boundaries for today's boundaries, is what I'm saying. And so when you try to set today's boundaries, and then you're like, oh, you're conscious, oh yeah, I need to update my boundaries, right? And when you update your boundaries, now you feel guilty, right? Now you feel like you're putting distance, but you're really creating safety if you're doing it the right way. Mm-hmm. Transparency without punishment, right? Emotional literacy and therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you got a question.
My question.
Yeah.
What helped you become more emotionally transparent as a man?
Therapy helped me become emotionally transparent as a man. Therapy and wanting to be better. Again, not my first marriage, my second marriage. And in my first marriage, I wasn't the best version of a husband I could have been. Even though it takes two, all right? Mm-hmm. However, my side and my responsibility, I was not the best version. So I did not want to go into another relationship repeating the same process. I wanted better. Mm-hmm. I knew I had issues. I knew I had problems. I knew I had stuff to deal with. And I was afraid that if I didn't get it right, that I would be.
Is it moving?
Okay. Yeah.
Are we here?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So sorry about that. Technical difficulties. So yeah, that's what it was. That's what it made me get the help to become transparent as a man. So I try to be more transparent. And I'm still learning different ways to be transparent because, again, you have to update your thought process for today's time. So just because you learn transparency in one way doesn't mean you got it down pat. You got the generalization down pat, but there's always a new way to learn something else that would help, like this question with transparency. All right. Yeah. So my question was, what changed in us, in our relationship, when we finally started telling the truth about what hurt?
I mean, I think we always told the truth.
Right.
About things. I think, again, that fear, we're not exempt from it. No. I don't want to hurt your feelings. No. I love you too much. No. Yeah. We're not exempt from that. And what we found, well, I'm not going to speak for you, what I found is that it made the situation even worse.
Right.
It made it worse.
Right.
And then when I found out that you had a hard time telling me the truth about certain things,
Yeah.
I was like, it's definitely making it worse because I can't get better if you don't tell me what I'm not doing or
Right.
how I'm not meeting the mark. And there's resentment and frustration and all of the things. And so it helped me see a little bit clearer. Right? It was more of, it made me want to make sure, like, okay, are you sure?
Yeah.
When I come to you and be like, okay, you said that. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you really? Okay.
Hypervigilance.
Hypervigilance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
And so now it's for me finding the balance.
Okay. I like that. All right. So we want to hear from you guys. We got a few people in the room. I'm going to ask 2 questions. My baby just sneezing. She going to get me sick. Look at her. Bless her heart. Y'all say bless her heart in the comments right now. Let me know y'all listening. Say bless you or bless her heart in the comments right now. Let me let y'all know y'all listening. Okay. So one of the questions we want to ask you guys is the first one. I just want to ask 2. And I thought these 2 would be more potent.
Okay.
I thought these 2 would be more potent. Okay. So one of the questions that I wanted to ask was, who do you fear being vulnerable with? Who do you fear being vulnerable with? Like, is it your spouse? Is it your children?
Is it yourself?
Yeah, that's a good, yeah. Is it your family member, like your siblings, right? Who do you fear being vulnerable with? See, somebody said bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, fam.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sneezerella over here. Love it. But who do you fear being vulnerable with? I want you guys to answer if you feel so generous to answer, right? And I'm gonna answer that question for myself. I don't fear being vulnerable with anybody
Mm-hmm.
in particular. I don't have anybody that I fear being vulnerable with. Yeah. I thought about that. Like, who would I fear being vulnerable with? I think there's just certain people that have not, in my opinion, warranted that vulnerability yet. Like, I'm not there with them yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but if
That's very different. Though.
yeah, it's very different. So if
it's not afraid.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If we ever got there, then I wouldn't be afraid to be vulnerable with them.
Okay.
Right? As
Yeah.
that,
Okay.
But that's I don't think I have anybody. What about you?
I was gonna say, it's similar. I think there aren't a lot of people who get me on the vulnerability. Like, there are levels. There's levels to this.
Levels.
There are levels to this, and so I'm pretty open, but you won't get all of me.
Yeah.
There are certain things that
Yeah.
There's certain things, and I think there's certain things you're just not gonna get unless you're in that inner circle
Right.
with me.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah. And so I think, it's my thought, that took a lot of work to get to this place.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
To not be afraid to be me, because there were times in my life. There's a young woman who I went to college with before the incident happened, and I saw her on Facebook. I was like, oh my gosh, and it brought back the thought of where my mind was and who I was at that point. I don't know that chick. She was scared. She was a people pleaser. She was a lot of things. And I don't know if the woman who I saw would even know this version of me.
Yeah.
Because I really don't care what people think about me anymore because I'm just gonna show up me because that's all I can do. But that took a lot. And I understand for people that takes a lot to show up you authentically, regardless of what you think people are gonna say.
Yeah. I think when it's all said and done, you got to show up authentically. So that leads to the next question. And we're asking you guys, what would you change if you were honest? What would you change if you were honest? I guess, what would you change about anything? Let's start with self. If you were honest, what would you change about yourself if you were honest?
This is hard because I mean, when I decided,
Yeah.
this is I'm so cocky. When I decided to make a change, I just change it.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
That was it. That was okay. Okay.
maybe we didn't pick good questions today.
So I guess what I would change if I were honest with myself is some of my perceptions. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, some of my perceptions that I have. Yeah.
Can I ask like what, or I should leave it alone?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just know I can't go. Not that I can't go into it, but we don't have a lot of time. But it's just basically like some of the perceptions that I have that it just doesn't make sense logically and emotionally. But it's like, I guess that's what it is. I would change that if I could, but I don't think I want to change it.
Is that really about you being honest with yourself?
Yeah, I think that's honest with myself.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's honest with myself. Yeah. But so actually we gotta go here.
Okay.
So when you need help, is there some place for you to get help? Because a lot of us don't think we're worth helping or nobody can help us.
I just heard that from somebody today.
Yeah.
I don't think I can be helped.
Yeah.
And you can be.
You can.
The first thing is you have to change your mind that yes, I can receive help.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first person you have to say, I'm worth the help.
Yeah.
I can get help.
Yeah.
I need help.
In this big entire world, somebody can help you. Somebody can help you, right? But what kind of help would you require? What kind of help would work with you, right? What kind of help could you seek? One of the help things you can seek is some conversations in an area that require a safe space, right? Always look for a safe space, someplace where you feel safe to have these conversations. It doesn't have to be a physical safe space all the time. Like if a library is a safe space for you, have those conversations in the library. But if over the phone is a safe space for you with somebody that you trust, that creates a safe space as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some wounds require professional help. Some of the stuff you need to talk about and you got to deal with, confront, and face require professional help, right? This is what we go to school for, train for, and continuing education for in our profession to in turn help you and others like us, right? Mm-hmm. So some of the stuff you deal with, your pastor not going to help you. Everything ain't all God and religion and Jesus and them. It's a little bit more simpler than that. It's a little bit more pragmatic than that, right? And so some of these things that you're facing are going to require professional help. So seek out a professional, right?
Let me. I'm gonna say this, and this is not anything bad. Your pastor can pray for you and then direct you in the place of a therapist or a coach.
That's what he should be doing. he or she
he or she.
should be doing.
And I have no problem with that. And people get really upset but there are certain things that you cannot pray. Faith without works is dead. This is the work.
Yeah.
This is the work. And some of us get stuck there.
Yeah. Just like, ooh, I prayed about it. I'm good. No, you're when you go to your pastor, you're just tackling the faith side.
Yeah.
If they're doing it correctly. Right. But when you come to professionals like us, you're tackling the actual work side. With us is where the rubber meets the road.
You're defining the okay.
I did that. You saw I did that? You saw I did? Okay.
I was about to sneeze, but you did it.
Okay. All right. I did a little stuff. Okay.
Yeah, this is the work. This is where you actually identify a problem, have a goal and objectives to reach, to solve, get resources, get tools. Those are the steps. Yeah. And it's very interesting because a lot of people don't understand, like, well, so what do we do in therapy? Well, what is coaching about? You identify goals that you want to reach.
Yeah.
If you're feeling anxious about something, how can we reduce your anxiety? Well, what does that look like? I feel anxious 24 hours a day. So maybe we want to reduce that to, I don't know, 10 hours a day.
It's 30 minutes, goddamn.
Right. and then titrate down.
Right.
Like, you got to find the starting point.
You got to definitely find the starting point.
So yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Not just Father God in the name of Jesus, which I believe, like I said, faith without works is dead. There has to be work behind that.
You got to put that work in. And because you put that work in, we don't get extra credit for struggling alone. There's no credit for walking around doing it by yourself.
There's no credit for struggling.
Nobody's going to pat you on the back and be like, okay, you made it. Good job. You did it by yourself. If anything, they may look at you a little bit suspect.
Yeah, because there are resources.
All kinds of resources, right? All kinds of resources.
We just had a young man, well, not we, but Dallas Cowboys just had a young man, 24 years of age, kill himself. Suicide. Mental health is real.
That's why therapy is not weakness.
At all.
Therapy, life coaching, that's not weakness. You're getting with somebody who's a professional, should be, and who's doing what they need to do in a professional way to help you. So you going to seek therapy is not weakness. What's weak is knowing that you need help and not doing anything about it. Especially in today's time when there are plenty of options, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coaching is not failure.
At all.
Right? As a life coach, a certified life coach, when I'm coaching you and I'm working with you, I'm not focused on your failures. We may talk about it to see how we got there, but that's not what defines you. Having somebody coach you is saying, hey, where can I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? Not can I. Where did I go wrong? What's my strengths? What's my weakness? What do I need to go at?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so coaching is not weakness, right? Therapy is not weakness. Coaching is not failure. Therapy is not weakness.
Vulnerability is definitely not a betrayal of self.
Vulnerability is definitely not a betrayal. It's going to take vulnerability for you to overcome a lot of the things that you're going through. Vulnerability with self, right? That's what it's going to take. And probably a dog barking. All right. So we want to wrap up by telling you guys about something special that we have going on in this particular season. You want to talk about it?
Oh, so we're having the Kings and Queens Giving on November 22nd in the Houston area.
Yay!
Hopefully you can see this. You could play the video.
Let's play the video for them.
Okay.
What if love was more than a feeling? What if it was a harvest where every seed you plant, patience, trust, laughter, becomes the root of something lasting? On November 22nd in Houston, we're gathering the kings and queens who are ready to do this work, to reflect on what's grown, release what's withered, and replant with intention. 3 spaces, 1 purpose: the root, the seed, the bloom. A night of reflection, connection, and legacy. Through candlelight, conversation, and guided journaling, you'll rediscover the beauty of your shared soil. Because love is the garden we co-create, and together we water what we want to grow. Join us for Kings and Queens Giving, the Harvest of Us, hosted by the Obsidian Lux Group.
Yeah. Okay. So, Kings and Queens Giving, the Harvest of Us.
It's a community meeting. It's not just for couples, it's for singles, people who are dating, people who are seriously partnered and or married. And we are coming together to be very intentional. Those of you who know me know that I'm all about intentionality and how we are preparing for our next season. We're looking at the harvest as a whole, what we have received this year, good, bad, or indifferent, because our harvests aren't always beautiful.
No,
Sometimes they are ugly. Sometimes, oh Jesus, they are painful. And then what are we learning from that? What do we need to prune? What do we need to nurture? We just talked a lot about things that maybe you need to add, right? Like maybe you need trust. Maybe you need transparency with yourself.
Right.
Maybe you need that to grow.
Right.
Maybe you need to water your soil more. Maybe you're in a season where you just need to wait and really be more intentional about what it is that you want and need to do, and looking at what you have been doing. So at our event, we're going to talk about all of those things. And we have some wonderful things. You'll get a Tree of Life journal. You'll get a cigar, some drinks. We're going to have dinner, of course. It's going to be an evening full of luxury, but also comfort and few surprises, but an in-person gathering is going to be fun. So yeah, we did something similar in North Carolina, but it was an end of summer soiree, but this one is a little bit more themed around the harvest. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're hoping, Houston area, that you will come out and participate.
I put the link in the chat. It's on Eventbrite. Definitely get your tickets. As you can see, they are 50% off.
That sale goes off tonight.
2 for 1 deal. All right, so definitely come through and check us out on the 22nd. Okay.
How you feeling, babe?
I'm ready to go.
You sleepy. I think you don't feel good.
No,
I think I got him sick.
I feel fine. She was just doing this and this. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Okay, so first of all, he's not talking
I'm not talking about her. I'm not talking about her.
You didn't make a complete sentence, honey.
Okay, we went to get a massage. We normally do a monthly massage. And and so
she
this
had
lady
her elbow in your back.
She was like ludicrous, just throwing bows in her brother's back. And so I gotta sit in somebody's hot tub. So
that sounds really
nice. I tried to get you to sit in the hot tub. He's like,
is it on
the hot tub?
Is it on down?
No,
upstairs?
It's not on downstairs.
Why you even mention it?
Because I said I gotta sit in somebody's hot tub.
But anyway, we can't do it. I want to do it. I really want to do it. But, okay, what I understand I probably will do is have to massage your back and use some CBD.
You just got to pray about it. Like, Jesus, do it. That's how it works.
I did that last night.
You did?
Yeah.
I'm still hurting.
I know.
Jesus must not
Because
lie.
there's work to be done.
Jesus must not lie.
Whatever. You know he does.
Yeah. We have enjoyed you guys. Hope this has been a good show for you.
Mm-hmm.
We have two.
The dogs are just doing whatever they want to do.
You see? Hold on. You see? Look at she done got caught. She want to get up on. Look at that. Look at she's what? Yeah. Anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed the show. We will see you week after next.
Yes.
And
is that going to be after or before Thanksgiving?
That's before Thanksgiving.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
Should be. Yeah.
I don't know.
Should be. Anyway,
look at a calendar.
We love you guys. Help you have fun. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
You ready to go?
You're not?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
I was about to say, what's wrong with you?
You guys have any questions? Anything? You guys have been doing good. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for the prayers.
Yeah. Prayer for healing.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Because this right here, all of this right here, I like my cheekbones, but doggone it, not with inflammation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rewiring, not as vulnerable as I used to be.
You should.
Yes. Okay, but
take your time though.
We'll talk. Okay.
Yeah. Rewiring always takes time.
You are funny. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes therapy is what prayer calls you to do.
Yep.
You're right. You cooking tonight, girl. Okay. All right.
Well, friends, family, it has been amazing. It always is when we get to spend some time with you all. And we hope that you will be back next time. Big hug to each and every one of you. Hi, Mommy. Hi, Mommy. You guys, I'm just going to say this and then we're going to go. My mom came to the Harvest and Crown brunch. It was so amazing because what she did was she actually imparted wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to folks. So it was really good to have a woman who, girl, if you don't get off the computer, that that spoke to other women who were younger. You know, my mom is 82, I believe. She 81 or 82. She gonna get on this. I don't know. But anyway, and she was really helpful. And so legacy, pouring down or passing down legacies and being intentional about those things is always very important. So yeah, I'm very thankful to her. I love her so very much. And I'm looking forward to spending some time with her for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be good for Thanksgiving. More legacy to impart.
Yes.
On the younger generation.
Yep.
Somebody said, "Leave me be."
We gonna talk, child. No, we gonna talk. Look, we gonna talk. Okay.
All right. You want to say bye-bye?
Ivy, say bye.
Bye-bye.
Say bye.
Bye-bye.
Say bye. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Have a great one.
Have a good one.